Hello, my name's Miss Skinner and welcome to my channel. Our story of the day is Cinderella, retold by Kath Jewitt, illustrated by Dubravka Kolanovic. I hope I pronounced that right. Now let's get started. Cinderella, retold by Kath Jewitt and illustrated by Dubravka Kolanovic. Once upon a time, there was a kind, sweet girl named Cinderella. Her mother died when she was very young, and her father remarried again. His new wife and her two daughters, Anastasia and Drusilla, were mean. They treated Cinderella like a servant. One morning, there was a knock at the door. Cinderella opened it to find a stylish footman. He handed her a gold envelope. "The palace is holding a ball for the prince's birthday tonight," he announced. "Every girl in the kingdom is invited." "This isn't for you," cried Anastasia, snatching the invitation. "But the footman said that every girl is invited," protested Cinderella's father. "Of course she may go," said Cinderella's stepmother shyly, "as long as she finishes all her chores." But no matter how hard Cinderella worked, her list of jobs kept growing. Her stepsister and stepmother made sure of that. "Iron my dress, brush my hair, polish my nails, fetch my necklace." "Oh dear," giggled the stepsisters when the coach arrived to take them to the palace. "Aren't you ready yet?" And they flounced out laughing unkindly. Poor Cinderella sat by the fireside. "I wish I could wear a pretty dress and meet the prince," she sighed. Suddenly the room was filled with sparkling lights as a fairy appeared. "Dry your eyes, Cinderella," said the fairy. "I am your fairy godmother, and we have work to do." "Go to the garden and fetch me the biggest pumpkin you can find," her fairy godmother said. Swoosh! With a wave of her wand, Cinderella's fairy godmother transformed the pumpkin into a beautiful coach. Next, the fairy godmother searched the courtyard and rounded up 4 white mice and a rat. Swoosh! 4 gleaming white horses and a stylish coachman appeared. "Now for you," said the fairy godmother. Swoosh! Cinderella's plain dress was transformed into a wave of soft silk, and on her feet were 2 glass slippers. "Now remember," said the fairy godmother, "my magic won't last. At midnight, on the final stroke of 12, everything you see before you will disappear." When Cinderella entered the ballroom, the guests couldn't take their eyes off of her, and neither could the prince. He rushed over and asked her to dance. Anastasia and Drusilla watched grumpily from the side. Suddenly, the palace clock began to strike. Bung! Bung! Cinderella remembered the warning. The magic was about to end. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I have to go." The prince chased after her, but he was too late. All that remained was Cinderella's glass slipper. The next day, the prince set out to find the beautiful girl from the ball. "Every girl in the land must try the slipper," he said. Girl after girl tried to squeeze her foot into the tiny slipper, but with no success. Finally, the prince arrived at Cinderella's house. Anastasia and Drusilla fought, but they could not force their big feet into the dainty slipper. "Let Cinderella try," her father said bravely. The prince slipped the slipper onto Cinderella's foot. "It fits," he cried happily. "My search is over. Will you marry me?" Cinderella agreed at once. "But she didn't even go to the ball," shrieked the furious stepmother. Suddenly, the fairy godmother appeared. She transformed Cinderella's dress into a beautiful ball gown once again. There would be no mistake. Cinderella was the one. The prince and Cinderella got married and lived happily ever after in the palace. Meanwhile, Anastasia and Drusilla had to polish their own shoes and iron their own dresses, and that made them grumpier than ever. The end. Cinderella is a classic fairy tale. It has been told many different ways, but the author and illustrator has done a marvelous job in this case. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank all my new friends, young and old. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to look out for next week's story with Miss Gina's Bookshelves. Goodbye.